Welcome back to Jackson Square. Let's talk about something we all know and love, a dollar. We can use a dollar to learn our benchmark fractions, decimals, and percents when it comes to our fourths. We know that $1 is made up of 4 quarters, and these 4 quarters can help us represent our fractions, decimals, and percents. 1 quarter is 1/4 or 1/4. 2 is 2/4. If we have 3 quarters, that's 3/4 or 3/4. And 4 quarters is 4/4. We know that 1 quarter is 25 cents, which is 25 hundredths as a decimal. 2 quarters is 50 cents or 50 hundredths. 3 is 75 cents or 75 hundredths. And 4 make $1, which is 1 whole. I also know that 50 cents is half of a dollar. So 2/4 simplifies down to 1/2. Once we know our decimals, we can easily know our percents. So 1/4 is 25 hundredths or 25%. 2/4 is 50 hundredths or 50%. 3/4 is 75 hundredths or 75%. 4/4 is 1 whole or 100% of a dollar. So here's something that we have our hands on almost daily that we use in the real world that can help us remember our fractions, decimal, and percents for fourths. Something else that is always with us that can help us learn our fifths is our hands. We have 5 fingers, so we can use these 5 fingers to help us learn our fractions, decimals, and percents of fifths. If I have my thumb is 1/5, and then my index would be 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5. If I have, that's a 6. If I have all of my fingers, which I hope you all do, that's 100% of our fingers. If I take 100% and I divide it by 5, I realize that each one of my fingers would represent 20%. So I would skip count by 20. And it's just like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Instead, I'm going to say 20, 40, 60, 80%. So this is super easy. If I'm trying to do my fifths and I need to know what is 3/5, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 20, 40, 60, that's 60%. If I want to know 4/5, 2, 4, 6, 8, hey, 80%. If I need to know 1/5, 20. 1/5 is 20%. Okay? So those are our percents. Once I know percent, I can convert that back to a decimal. So 1/5 is the same as 20 hundredths. 40% is the same as 40 hundredths, or it could be 4/10. 3/5 is 6/10 or 60 hundredths. 4/5 would be 8/10 or 80 hundredths. And of course, this would be 1 whole. So now you have your fifths down and your fourths down. What's left? Let's look at our thirds. So here I have 3 markers. They represent my thirds. Thirds are pretty easy because they are repeating decimals. So that's what makes them fun. If I have 1 out of 3, that's 1/3. 2 out of 3 would be 2/3. And of course, 3 out of 3 would be 3/3. 1/3 is 33.3%. 2/3 is just twice that amount. So you take 33 and add it, and you get 66.6%. And of course, 3/3 will be 99.9%, which we would round up to 100%. Remember, to change a percent to a decimal, you move your decimal 2 places to the left. So 33.3% would be the same as 33 hundredths, and 66.6% would be the same as 66 hundredths. We typically don't do 3/3 or 99.9% because we know that's one whole. But benchmark fractions, 1/3 and 2/3, 33 and 66. So once you know 1/3, double it and you have 2/3. Isn't that easy? Last, we have our eighths. I wish there was some cool coin trick or finger trick I could do with eighths, but there isn't. But I can show you how I remember them. First of all, eighths are the only ones that go to the thousandths place. So anytime you see the ones with 3 places, you know they're going to be eighths. All of the eighths have a 5 in the thousandths place. So you have that part taken care of. They all have a 5 in the thousandths place. 1/8 starts with a 1, and 3/8 starts with a 3. So I know that 3/8 is going to be 300 and 305 thousandths. We know that it's going to start with a 3 and end with a 5. What's going to be in the middle? Now, the cool thing about 5/8 and 7/8 is 5/8 starts with a 6, so it went up 1. And 7/8 starts with an 8. It went up 1. So anytime somebody says, what's 5/8? I'm like, oh, it goes up. So it's going to be 600 and then something 5, right? Okay. 625. Also, you might notice that there's also a little pattern because it's 2, 7, 2, 7. So in the middle, it's either going to be a 2 or it's going to be a 7. So 1/8 is 125 thousandths, 3/8 is 375 thousandths, 5/8 is 625 thousandths, and 7/8 is 875 thousandths. So the way that I remember is 1/8 starts with a 1, 3/8 starts with a 3, 5/8 it goes up to a 6, 7/8 goes up to an 8. I know it has 3 places behind the decimal, and they all end with a 5. So these are just some easy ways. These are just some easy ways that I help myself remember my fraction, decimals, and percents for my eighths, my fifths, and my fourths. So I hope this helps you guys and that you can use these to be successful in this chapter. Now, let's go practice.